Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Joy from She Speaks Too. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe. Today we're going to be reviewing Young, Famous, and African Season 1, Episode 4. I hope there are more seasons of this show. If you are binge watching this show, I'm a little late. I'm only on Episode 4, but please enjoy this review. I wanted to do this review like on Wednesday, but life happens, okay? Life happens, so let's get started. I watched this actually a week ago, and then I watched it again this morning just so I can kind of try to remember, but I did take notes, so I'm going to try to do the best that I can to review it. Okay, so the episode starts with Annie coming into Swinky Jerry's room. She's like clicking her heels. Swinky, Swinky, he proposed. No, she said, Swinky, there's gonna be a wedding. And then he was like, who's getting married? She's like, me. So she's very happy. She's telling Swinky. Once again, Annie is acting like she just met this man. She's not acting like a woman to me who has been stably married for 10 years, but we all know it has not been stably married either. So Swinky has an upscale brunch type thing, which it turned from day to night. So it probably wasn't brunch, probably like an early dinner type thing. So Zari and Andile are hugging a little bit too close, and everyone's watching them like, what's going on? And then of course, Naked DJ with his gross self, he says, keep your hands, bring me my drink so you can keep your hands off her breast. Then he looks, Naked DJ with his gross self looks at Annie. He says he can tell a woman who has been freshly sexed. He's just gross. Maybe that's why his name is Naked DJ. So Annie comes with Two Baba or Two Face, and she's telling them, guys, we have renewed our vows. We're getting married. We're gonna renew our vows. We're getting married again. And then in the midst of that speech, she said he has been very careless, even careless with me. And you could tell that everyone is uncomfortable. You're announcing the renewal of your vows, but then you're also bringing up basically the infidelity without saying that you're bringing up the infidelity. So everyone's like looking around like this is not the same. This Annie who was crying like yesterday is now like, oh, I'm getting married again, so everything's perfect. So all the women are kind of like side-eyeing Annie. So let me say this about Zari. I think Zari knows how attractive she is perceived in Africa. Number one, she's light-skinned, so unfortunately, in Africa, that is something to be praised. Even if you're not that pretty, if you're light-skinned, you are beautiful. But I do think Zari is pretty. So I think Zari enjoys the fact that she thinks that Annie may think something may have happened with her husband, with Tu Baba. So I think actually Zari enjoys that, because woman to woman, if I ask you, how do you know my husband? Oh, I met him. We went to high school together. Oh, I met him at a party a long time ago. That's just a conversation we can have. That's no reason for you to pull my husband aside. So she was like, I need to talk to you. So, because Tu Baba announced that he had to leave, but Zari said, I need to talk to you first. So Zari pulls him aside and is saying, you know, your wife keeps asking, how do I know your husband? And it's simple. Just tell her. You don't have to pull my husband aside. That's disrespectful within itself. And then Tu Baba said, you want to mess with her head? And Zari said, if I wanted to, I would have told her that we messed around. So they're talking. And when they walked off, Annie jokingly said, baby, walk in front of her, not behind her, meaning don't look at her butt. So they go over there. Zari calls Annie over. Annie, come here. So Annie comes there, and Zari's like, I just want you to know I've never banged your husband. That is very disrespectful to talk to a married woman in those terms about her own husband. So Annie just takes it in stride. She was like, I never said that. Number one, he likes dark-skinned girls. You know, you're not his type. You know, they kind of banter off each other laughing. But I was like, I agree with Annie in this instance. Annie does complain a lot, but this was very, very disrespectful. You don't pull me aside don't pull my husband aside to talk to him about how you know him, and don't call me over, come here and say, I just want you to know I never banged your husband. That's a conversation we could have had. Just tell me how you know him. To this day, we still don't know how Zari, the boss lady, knows him. Just say it. It's simple. I met him a long time ago before a party. And in this episode, she evenly, insultingly adds that I've known him before you. What does that matter? So like I said, Zari is used to being beautiful. She's used to being pursued by men. And I think that she actually enjoys making other women feel insecure because she's had that privilege for so long. That's just my perception of Zari, the boss lady. So Naked DJ pulls Kanye aside and he said he's going to apologize to her. This was like the worst apology ever. I don't like him, but this was actually funny. He's like, I'm sorry that you're being, excuse my language, dickmatized by this Steve Urkel type person. You have no sense, and so I'm going to forgive you and just forgive me too. And she looked at him like, what kind of apology is that? Usually you give an apology, you let it sit and you wait, then you can come back. She said, but he just kept going. So he gave a fake apology. It was hilarious to me. And then Zari and Dile are still being mushy. Everybody's watching. They think it's gross. Kaylee and Naked DJ talk about their relationship. Nothing to see here. She talks about how she got sexy one night and he fell asleep. And then he's seen saying that he needs her to go away for a couple of days and then he will miss her. So this girl is thinking that she's ready for marriage, and this man is still thinking that you need to go away for a couple of days so he can miss you. So you guys are not on the same page. Their relationship basically bores me, so I don't really talk about them too much. I don't understand why everyone is so invested in Annie's relationship. I guess it's the storyline. So Kanye and Annie go to lunch or sit down to talk. Kanye is not buying the fact that Annie is so happy. She said this woman was just in tears a couple of days ago. She says, I feel like I was watching a movie. I went to the bathroom and I come back and the script has changed. So she's not buying it. And Kanye basically asked her, does an apology heal the wound? And I don't think Annie directly answered that question. I think she's so in love with the fact that she's renewing her vows. This is a chance for a new beginning, but a new beginning starts before the vow renewal. The new beginning would have shown in his actions even before he asked you for the vow renewal. The vow renewal doesn't start the new beginning, just like a marriage doesn't start the husband or wife behavior. You should have seen those tendencies in the person before the marriage start. That's just words of wisdom from She Speaks Too. Okay, take it how you want it. So then Andele has an all-white poetry party. I did not hear one, maybe I missed it. I did not hear one bit of poetry being read. But what I like about Andele is that he invited both of his children's mothers. And one of them, the baby is 6 months old. So that means he has a good relationship with both of the mothers. And I feel like he's a respectful guy. I haven't seen anything disrespectful about him. Maybe the fact that he is flirting with Zari. But for the most part, Ndile is cool. And that shows you that he's able to maintain relationships even after the breakup. So he has an all-white party. Then he hugs Zari again. Once again, this hug is long. They're like, it's not a church hug, it's a real close hug. Then Zari and Kanye are talking about Annie, basically gossiping. And Kanye called it right. She said, I don't understand Zari's obsession with Annie. She wants ammunition. I feel like Zari has found her target and she wants something to feel superior. Nadia isn't in this episode a lot, so Nadia is not the target. It is now Annie. So Kaylee talks to Annie and they're talking about the fact that Zari was so disrespectful. I don't understand why Kaylee is so invested in this. First, she was invested in the fact that Ndile liked Zari and she didn't want her naked to hang around Ndile, or she thought it was, or hang around Diamond because of how he brought two women to the party. Now she's invested in the fact that Zari was disrespecting Annie. Why is that your business? Worry about Naked DJ. So Annie says, number one, and this was a dig shade. She said, number one, Zari is not his type. He likes light-skinned girls and he likes small girls. He likes small bums, not big bums. So basically she was calling Zari fat without saying it, saying that's not his type. But let me tell you something, Annie. Every woman is every man's type if you turn off the light. I'm just telling you. So anyway, then this is the explosive part. Annie and Zari meet for lunch. Let me just say, all this back and forth banter. Zari says, you keep asking, how do I know your husband? Well, then just tell her, I met him at so-and-so. Why did this thing go on for so long? Annie said, I want to tell you something. This is not my baby daddy. This is not my boyfriend. This is my husband. You are very disrespectful. This is not a friendship to play with. This is my husband. So Zari still cannot understand why Annie is so upset. And Annie was like, stay out of my effing marriage or something like that. Zari said, you're silly. Your marriage is silly, effing silly. It ended on a very bad note. But like I said, all of this could have been avoided if both women had talked. Hey, Zari, how do you know him? I'm meeting you for the first time. I guess I don't know everyone my husband knows, but how do you know him? And that could have been explained, and that was it. But I think because Zari knows that Annie's husband has a history of infidelity, she's playing on that to make Annie feel insecure. And I don't like when women do that. So let me just give you my little recap of the show. Annie, I think in this instance, Annie was right. Don't disrespect my marriage. Don't disrespect anyone's marriage. Don't tell me, I just want you to know in front of my husband, me and your husband have never banged. Don't do that. I don't like the Indili and the Zari thing. I think it's within the friend circle. I think it's gross. We Africans, Black people, we don't do that. I know some other races mingle, co-mingle. We don't do that. We see that as a sign of disrespect. Kanye is still becoming one of my favorite people. I think she's the real boss lady. I think she handles herself very classy. Very seldom do we see her feathers ruffled. Nika DJ is gross. Kaylee is delusional, thinking that this relationship will work. I hope Annie's husband really is turning over a new leaf, and this proposal is not just because they're on TV. They just happen to be on a TV show and he wants to do something extravagant. I think that is it for the most part. I don't think we saw much of Swanky Jerry, and we definitely didn't see Nadia this episode. So this is Joy from She Speaks Too. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you later.